Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today we're going to be talking about Coinbase direct listing. I know a lot of us been calling it IPO, but it's actually a direct listing because the difference between, take for instance, an initial public offering and direct listing are two different methods for a company to raise capital, to raise money. Listing a shares on a public exchange like the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, or the New York Stock Exchange. So many companies often choose IPOs, those initial public offerings, which shares are created. Shares are actually created because Coinbase, we have to remember, they were already trading on the private market. They was already trading on the private market, okay? So when you have an IPO, you're creating shares essentially. They're underwritten and then they're sold to the public. Now, some companies choose, like Coinbase, a direct listing in which no new shares are created and only existing outstanding shares are sold with no underwriting involvement. So that's pretty much the difference, okay? Because they can get their money right off the bat versus creating new shares and waiting for the money to actually come in. Companies like Coinbase, they want to do a public listing. They may not essentially have the resources to pay underwriters. They may not want to dilute existing shares by creating new shares because essentially it's kind of like adding water to the mix. You dilute it. So that's what they're probably trying to avoid, certain lockup agreements. So Coinbase may have concerns, often choose to proceed by using the direct listing process rather than the IPO process. But we're going to get further into the breakdown of Coinbase. Now, essentially, the market is live, but what I was reading is that Coinbase may not come live until mid-trading day. All right, so let's look at this very, very quickly. Let's see if they are absolutely live. What I was reading is that Coinbase will be trading midday, but they could have changed it. Let's see. I'm really not seeing any movement today. Myself, I already put in an order to buy one share. Okay, like I told people on my post yesterday that I was going to do one share of Coinbase. So I'll let you look at my information. But for those of you who are not familiar with Coinbase, I think you should jump on this now. Their listing price for their shares is $250 a share. Okay, right now, as far as I know, they don't have any fractional investment just yet, but they may be coming soon. So Coinbase operates as a secure hosted Bitcoin wallet to purchase and use Bitcoin. Now, this is a cryptocurrency platform, okay? But of course, the spearhead, the gold standard of any cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. So I understand what they're getting at with that. It provides merchant tools that enable companies to accept payments in Bitcoin by incorporating a single button. The company was founded by Armstrong Bryan and is headquartered in San Francisco. The listed name for coin is Coinbase Global, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Founded only 3 years ago, So let me look at my messages here. It shows that I bought some Dogecoin and as well Coinbase this morning, pre-market. I'll show you what it looks like. Here it is. It says we received your order to buy one share of coin at a maximum of $200 per share. So they had people to put in listing price, your limit price. Like when it actually opens, what is the most that you what is the limit that you'll actually pay for that? So I put $250. You know, I'm only going to buy one share because sometimes stocks have a weird way of maneuvering the market. It may come out hard, then it may sink down and crash, and then it may level off. Sometimes if I don't catch the IPO, now I'm just looking for the dip. I like essentially buying things on the dip because usually on the dip, the stock has already went through some turmoil or went through some volatility. So you can essentially catch it on a dip before it skyrockets or peaks back up. So that's very imperative that you guys understand that. And Coinbase is essentially a very important part of the stock market in a sense of inflation, because we understand that all this money that Joe Biden is pumping out, that's not political, but it is political, that Joe Biden is pumping out, how you think he's getting this money? This is by debt. This is by the system of fiat. So cryptocurrency is a way to essentially hedge the dollar when it comes to you. That's why a lot more people, a lot of Black people are now investing. They may not understand truly all the intricate parts of investing, but they understand, hey, if I invest something, I have a better chance. I have a better chance of gaining money versus losing money, especially when you do your research, when you are looking at the experts, what they're saying on different platforms. So it's very important that you guys get involved in investing and slightly understanding, having a good, well-based knowledge of your investments. Okay. So let me show you some things about Coinbase that you guys may not be aware of. So I'm gonna go over to my portfolio on Coinbase. So here's my portfolio on Coinbase for you guys who are not familiar with them, and they're continue to grow their platform. Now they have some tickers over here. Do more with crypto, Coinbase card, invest over time. They have all these schedulings. They even have lifetime rewards. Now here are my recent transactions. Stellar Lumens, I've done some with that. New Cipher, I converted some cryptocurrencies to Bitcoin, and that's the major thing with this. Now, if you're looking at my portfolio allocation, you see that I have Bitcoin at 85%, Ethereum at 14.7%, and Stellar Lumens at 0.17. And XRP, unfortunately, which is one of the hot cryptocurrencies that's actually boosting right now, they're not trading with them right now. I was telling you guys yesterday about Uphold. As you can tell, let me blow this up for you guys. You can tell XRP is not supported by Coinbase. So that may change here in the next couple of weeks. I'm pretty sure they don't want to lose out in any future investments. This is not, Ripple is not listed on Coinbase. Neither is it listed on Robinhood, but they are watching the live market data. Very imperative, okay? So this is the platform that most people are familiar with. They're familiar with Coinbase, where you can go through the timeline. You have your years up here. This is my portfolio. This is what I've been doing from all the way from January 18th. Ever since Coinbase came out, I've been a member, and this has been my portfolio. And the only thing I've been doing is growing it very, very slowly. I'm beginning to invest more in cryptocurrencies, so we might see an influx in my portfolio later on. But for you guys who are not investing in Bitcoin, and again, we're on the Coinbase platform, Bitcoin is right now at $64,000 a coin, okay? Bitcoin Cash is up 12% at 800. You have either selling Lumens up at 0.29%. Ethereum is up almost 7%. We have EOS up 7.5. So essentially, ladies and gentlemen, and you guys who want to get into Acoin, that's Acoin for his digitized cryptocurrency city that he's building in Senegal. You guys may want to look into that. But unfortunately, this platform is not supporting Acoin as well. But we're going to go over and check. There's another platform that people, regular investors, are not aware of when it comes to Coinbase. So this is the regular platform that most people know of Coinbase. But guess what? Did you know there was a Coinbase Pro? This is Coinbase Pro. Now, these are for Forex traders, your day traders. This gets really hot and heavy. Those people who are essentially trading cryptocurrencies. Now, right now, I have it on all. So I'm going to change it to USD. There's really no changes there. But this is the software that's totally different than the regular platform that most people know of. There's a lot of things going on. You see some RSIs here at the bottom. You hear some graphical data. You also see RSIs and candlesticks. These are your candlesticks, ladies and gentlemen. Let me blow this up. These are your candlesticks right here in the middle. Okay, these are your candlesticks. And believe it or not, either is red or green, depending on how the candle is listed on type of the stick. The part of the candle that's listed on the stick gives day traders and other investors indicators whether they should sell, buy, or hold. Okay, very important to them. I'm just looking around here. I'm gonna click on a couple of things here, show you how things operate. But nonetheless, this is another platform that Coinbase has that most people are not familiar with. I mean, for most people, like, what is going on? There's a lot of things going on, but I can essentially give you a roadmap here. Right here where my cursor is, that's a trade history of all trades occurring live Up here, you have your account, you have your portfolios, you have your orders. And then right here, we're looking at trade. And if I wanted to trade anything, you see right here, buy, sell. This is part of your order form. And then the amount, right? I can type in, I don't know, 500 bucks. And then I can buy whatever I wanted to buy here. USD to Bitcoin. Okay. You can either deposit or withdraw. Very easy stuff. Then I can also select the market. So it's imperative. You can select the market, whether it be Bitcoin to USD, Ethereum to USD, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on. So we have to be very familiar, not essentially on the Coinbase Pro platform, but I think that we need to be aware of all the different services, all the different things that Coinbase is actually going to offer everyday investors and even those day traders and Mensa investors who may find this platform very familiar. Now, not other platforms like Uphold or WeBull, Robinhood. There's some other platforms, Bittrex, that actually offers two different types of platform. A lot of them try to combine it, but I think that's when everyday investors would probably get confused on a platform like this. It'll take you quite some time to totally understand a platform. So that's why a cleaner platform that really doesn't have nothing really going on, something like this, is more appeasing. It's more intuitive to an everyday novice investor or beginning investor. So it's important that you guys understand how these platforms absolutely operate, okay? Let me see here. Move this around. We're going to go back to Robinhood. We're going to see how the actual market performing. I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm going to show you my timeline very quickly for you guys who are not familiar with my platform. I'll show you my portfolio. Here was I in the last 3 months. Last 3 months, I've been down 29%. Okay, over the course of the year, I've been up 93%. And then all in all, I'm up 88%. I'm usually up over 100% on my whole portfolio. But for this past week, I've been doing pretty well. I'm up almost 7%. That's not to say the least. And then today, I'm up almost 2%. Okay, so let me just break this down to you. This is my total portfolio line here, showing you essentially the power of investing, okay? That even though you may have dips, you may have lows, but you see how it continues to rise. Now, at one point, of course, I was up to 41 grand, but I made some decisions that cost me a lot of money that I don't tell everyday people to make those same decisions, okay? My advice usually is solid, backed by analytics, history, data, and news. So that's the type of information that I try to get you guys. But still trying to work on that portfolio, building it back up. And I also bought an option yesterday. I'm going to show you that very quickly. That's turning out to be profitable a little bit right now. It's called Hymex. I bought 2 options. Okay. Let me show you this very quickly. I bought 2 options yesterday. They don't expire to September. Okay, they don't expire to September. And right now, I'm only $6 up, but I'm doing pretty well. But it cost me $490, but it was a low stock price, and I put in my limit price, which it executed perfectly today. So I'm glad that actually occurred, because at first, none of my options are really in the money. I'm expecting AMD. I'm expecting for AMD, I'm going to lose that $394, but hopefully I can make it up somewhere else, okay? So again, as we're looking at these particular platforms, and I'm showing you essentially how Coinbase, when we're looking at the liquidity and the debt that the U.S. government will incur, because essentially we're at the point where we're just printing money. We understand this. You've heard this 1,000 times, that the dollar is no longer backed by gold. I mean, that's ever since 1971. That's not going to change, okay? The dollar has been inflated to a point where deflation is essentially going to occur. Now, you know what I'm surprised at, even with all these new IPOs and direct listing, for a long time here, for the past year, I've been expecting the stock market to either crash or go into a recession. Now, I don't want that to occur. And I'm not trying to, give it any bad, energy, but it just during that time of Donald Trump, the pandemic, stocks, right before the pandemic, stocks were doing very, very well. Then during the pandemic, there was a lot of bad decisions being made. Then the Wall Street best groups. I'm like, usually these are large indicators that a country is going to go through a recession. But when you look at all these things that are occurring in the financial markets and also in politics, it just doesn't add up to me. It's like, okay, well, the markets are very volatile. No, let me start over. One, markets are doing well. Everybody's 401k, IRA, individual portfolios is doing well. Bitcoin is just as volatile as it usually is. Donald Trump takes all the credit. He said, oh, I did this and I did that. So the pandemic occurred. Then the stock market becomes very, very volatile, more so than it ever was before. But at the same time, it was still breaking new highs. Okay. And then all of these things occurring with the pandemic and vaccines, this, that, and the other. Then we have a new president. And then the Wall Street best groups go in and start to affect GameStop, AMC, Nokia, BlackBerry, etc. Then from that moment on, here we are. Joe Biden is just forking out money. I know you guys have been seeing this. New York is giving $2.1 billion to undocumented immigrants. $2.1 billion. So each one of them are getting $15,000. That's a red flag for me. Number two, the Biden administration is giving Native Americans $31 billion on top of the annual reparations that they receive to live on their reservations. They get stipends, etc. There's just so much money being forked out. It's just phenomenal. It just baffles my mind. And here we go. Bitcoin is doing well. Dogecoin is doing well. Ripple is doing well. So before I end this, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you guys. Let's look at Ripple very quickly, okay? Let's look at Ripple. Let's see if we can find Ripple. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find it. I always had issues with this platform. Let me go to Robinhood. I like the Coinbase platform, but it's not as easy as Robinhood. I'm just more familiar. So excuse me on that. Okay. So right now, Ripple is up to $1.76. I'm glad I bought low. So let's look at this. Let me show you guys this. So even if you guys would have invested in Ripple in March, okay, it was at 46 cents per coin. And then boom, it pops to $1, pops to $1.80. And now it's cooling off. Okay, so that's Ripple. And I have Dogecoin as well. And I told people yesterday, that Dogecoin is the next Ripple. Okay, Dogecoin is the next Ripple because everyone's voicing this up. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's up 21%. You know what? I'm going to invest this $50 in here. Why am I playing games? I'm going to buy that very, very quickly. There we go. Okay. So let me show you my portfolio. Let me show you the past week of Dogecoin. So this is the past week. Look where Dogecoin was at. And we're just looking at the very decimal points. We're going to make this very, very basic. We're going to make this very, very, novice. Look at this. So 0.06. Okay. Now look at it. 0.1. But if I go back a month, I want to show you how many decimal points this actual coin has moved. Look at this. That's not what I'm looking at. Give me one second. All right, look at this. So 1 year ago, Doge was 0.00. Okay. Now we're going to move the timeline around. And this coin has been growing from notoriety from Elon Musk, Snoop Dogg, and some other celebrities. So they're actually generating a lot of movement on this coin. All right. So again, when we start off, we had 3 zeros. And as I move the timeline here, you see that turn to 1 0. Okay. 1 0. And then today it's only 0.1. So I'm not going to get into how much movement it actually went into, but I'm showing you how profitable the stock has been raised throughout its course listed. So look how much I've been making. And again, you have to buy thousands of shares to really make any good money when a stock is under $1. But nonetheless, my today's return is $96 at 22%. Okay, let me blow that up for you. Can we all see that? Today's return for Dogecoin is $97 at 23%. And then my total return right now is $210. So Dogecoin is blowing up just like Ripple. And so it will behoove you, and you can actually invest in this on Robinhood. These are the 7 cryptocurrencies. You know, you have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Ethereum, Dogecoin. You have some other ones listed. That's just to name a few, but there's only 7 listed on Robinhood. So you have a Robinhood account, you can jump in right now before this stock absolutely blows up. The live market actually has it down, but for today, it's actually up 20%. I'm going to continue to buy Dogecoin, and I'm going to continue to buy XRP, which is known as Ripple. We have to understand that the median forecasted prediction of Dogecoin is anywhere between, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's anywhere between $5 and $13 with a low of $3. So low being $3, median being $5, but at this highest peak, people seeing Ripple, aka XRP, going to $13 a share. Now, Dogecoin, I'm very curious on what the experts are saying. So let's look at this very quickly. Dogecoin prediction. Let's look at this. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at, people. We're looking at if Dogecoin is going to hit $1. And it says here that estimated Dogecoin inflation rate, they said, will it ever reach $1? And they give you the different price points on the different years. So let's look at this. What are people saying? Coinpedia says in a 5-year time frame, Doge is likely to reach a $20 mark. It may reach $50 also if it does not come across any turbulence. Okay. 2030, Dogecoin might reach 0.2. I don't know what that's all about. But let's look at one more thing when it comes to Dogecoin. And again, Dogecoin you can actually purchase on Robinhood and Coinbase. So let's see. Let's look at the stock forecast. Let's look at that. I hate when they give you questions like here. I just like looking at little quick snippets. But let's go to Coinbase and see if we can find Dogecoin. Okay. They should have Dogecoin up here. Let's see here. I'm not seeing Dogecoin. There has to be a way I can just search. I always have issues when I'm just trying to do something very quickly on this platform. I'm just basically looking for Dogecoin to see if it's actually listed. So if you guys open up a Coinbase account, you can invest as well. Let's see here. I'm not seeing Dogecoin at all. So what I do is see Dogecoin. Let's see here. It's saying that it is listed on Coinbase. But what I'm looking at is that it may be not really available to actually invest in, okay? So let me see what you guys are talking about here. We're talking about Coinbase. We're talking about Dogecoin. We're talking about cryptocurrencies, okay? So if you guys didn't ride the wave with Ripple, there's still time to get inside of Ripple. And I know people with, I'm talking about, they just dumped a grand in Ripple, like 10 grand, 15 grand in Ripple and Dogecoin. All right, we got Hot Rod. Good morning, learning every day. Nice to see you, sir. We got J Love T. He says, I'm terrified. Let's look at this. I'm terrified to touch Coinbase. When Bitcoin crashed, I expect Coinbase to do the same. Okay. I'm gonna address that too. Coinbase Pro is kind of fire. It is. It's a very intricate platform. Coinbase Pro don't play no games. You have to know what you're doing on that, or you'll get robbed. Jay Lovett also says, to be honest, stock market is down heavy. Is cryptocurrency heavily up? The majority of my companies are crypto heavy in their portfolios. We got Jimenez. He says Dogecoin will drop, and we got Prime X. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, all of you guys are telling the truth. Will Bitcoin crash or will Bitcoin go down? Of course. Most stocks go through some sort of dip. Most stocks go through some mini crashes. I mean, Tesla did. Tesla absolutely did. That's how I lost that 10 grand when I had my portfolio up to 40-something thousand because of Tesla crashed. Okay. And when we say crash, it doesn't mean that when you say crash, I don't know if you mean that the stock is just going to be wiped away. I don't believe that's going to occur. I believe that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are becoming so large to the international financial markets that it's smarter to keep it around and make it successful versus to let it falter and fail. There's going to be a lot of economies. If Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies crash and don't come back, there's going to be a lot of economies that don't do well because a lot of economies, whether it be in Africa, South America, the UK, Europe, and also America, are now depending. A lot of investors are now depending on the cryptocurrency markets, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it, to essentially hedge their traditional portfolios in their individual stocks, bonds, ETFs, and index funds. So that's imperative. But we're gonna take a quick look at Tesla. As I'm looking at Tesla here, this is the past year. Look at this right here. So what you've seen, this is a result of the stock being split. But even with that, you see Tesla got up to 771. Sorry about that, family. Sorry about that. Had some technical issues. Should be fixed by now. Should be fixed. All right. But as I was showing you, that Tesla had this huge drop from 880. So January 8th, Tesla was worth $880. And look at the drop. You see the drop from 880? It dropped more than $300. So when we're talking about stocks crashing and the decrease of value and the price war going on, those are the dips that I was saying early on that you guys should buy that. So when Tesla hit 5 something, some of you guys should have fractionally, incrementally invested. Like, oh, wow, I can't buy a whole share of Tesla, but I can put $100 into it, okay? But now it's back up to 769. So Tesla is doing well once again. Good morning, Mitchell Liggins from Alaska. We got Donald said, this trading halt is killing me. Hey, listen, everyone should be allocating, saving, putting aside at least $150 a month to trade with. Now, a lot of you have your everyday lives to manage and to go over. So I understand if you guys are dealing with debt, you're trying to raise your credit score. I understand that. You should really pause investing for right now. Handle your debt, get that under control. work on your credit score, which you guys know I offer those free credit letters so you can wipe things off your credit report so you can raise your credit. Now, you know what? I'm almost done here, guys. I'm almost done. I know I'm talking about Coinbase. I bought a share of Coinbase. I put a limit price in at 250. But let me just show you something. I think I can show you on my phone very quickly. I don't know what I did to raise my credit score so high. This is the first time I've been over 800 points. So let me just show you here. I'm just going to show it on camera. And this is what I tell people. I actually help and teach people how to raise their credit score. And I just basically tell you the same things that I've been doing so you can do the same thing so you can have the same results. That's all I'm doing. So I'm going to look at my credit score very, very quickly here. All right, here we go. I'm waiting here. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, this is where I'm currently at. Can everyone see that? Nope, you can't. That's where I'm currently at. Okay, that is where I'm currently at. This is my account on Capital One, and that is my current credit score. So for a while, I was teetering around 740 and 750, and I told you that anytime you buy a large purchase like this home, that was a year ago, well, coming up on a year ago, that you're going to have a dip. And anytime you take out a new credit card, you're going to have a dip. But if you continue to pay off your debts as well as your credit cards, you don't let your credit cards, all your credit card utilization go over 30%, then you'll be absolutely fine. But again, this is not a credit video, but I just had to tell you guys that because I saw that yesterday. I was like, wow. But let me tell you this. Credit scores don't really mean anything to me unless I'm trying to use other people's money, OPM. I'm using other people's money to buy something like a house or a car or something. But other than that, your credit score is just a tool for you to incur debt, which can be good or bad depending on what type of debt you're using it for. I digress. But again, I absolutely think that you guys should invest in Coinbase. And before I end here, I'm going to go look at Coinbase to see if it became live. Let's look at this together. Let's see if it became live. Not yet. It doesn't look like it's doing anything yet. What I read was that Coinbase was going to come live midday. That is the information that Robinhood say is not expected to start trading until midday. Now, I know a lot of you guys are looking at this direct listing, aka IPO of Coinbase at 250. I went in and I bought one share. I really want to see what the stock is going to do. Some people are going all in. They say, you know what, I'm buying 5 shares, I'm buying 10 shares, I'm buying 20 shares. For me right now, I'm really diversified across the board. And let's be real. You can be too well diversified. You can be too well diversified where you ain't making no money in no place, where it's just trickles and traces of money. But when you build your portfolio with bonds, ETF, and index as your foundation, you have, a really good amount, anywhere from 15 to 25%. And then the rest of your portfolio is a mix of cryptocurrencies and traditional stocks. You should do well. But when I talk about traditional stocks, ladies and gentlemen, there's a certain amount that you should to occur depending on that stock, whether it be 100, 200 shares. But in a portfolio, depending on how much you're really trying to build it, starting off, you only want like 4 or 5 shares. 4 or 5 shares, you get those stocks up to 100 shares per stock, and then you can move on. But you really want a good number. And that's why I like to use Robinhood. This is because it has a clean design to show you what my portfolio looks like. And if you guys, again, seen my portfolio earlier this year, I was all the way up to 43,000, almost 44,000. But I made a bad investment, and that came crashing, tumbling down to 20-something thousand. But I'm still doing okay. We're looking at some of my stocks over here. I'm still down on NEO. Remember, I sold all my NEO, and NEO hasn't rebounded. I'm still down $52, but I had over 100-something shares of NEO. I have not sold my position on Plug Power. Apple, I have 10 shares. So you see, I'm moving around the board. I'm just showing you different stocks, the same information that I've been giving you guys. I have absolutely been investing to as well. Okay. So it says, to be honest, stock market is down. The stock market, when we really look at it, we're going through a pandemic. We're going through mass federal budget spending. I mean, we are forking out more money in this economy. I mean, I'm surprised they still got ink to print out this money. But when you live in a super world power, a first world country, and your money is backed by fiat, is backed by debt and not by gold, then I guess you can do that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that you guys should at least buy a share of Coinbase at this particular price, because it may blow up. There's no guarantee. But this is a very important platform for cryptocurrencies and also everyday investors. Okay. You guys have a great and wonderful morning. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great day. I'm out.